Welcome, one and all, to the Nilvah Nexus. jamestheidolsmasher at gmail.com. My co-host, Rosalie Jordan. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Welcome,
Welcome to
everybody.
the Nexus Thursday night Torah study, biblical chat, and invitation to you out there in internet webs to join us here at the Nexus. Got a link in the description. We should have one in the comments. If you're watching this on Twitter, you can head on over to the Facebook page, and there's a link to join there. Today, we basically close the book of Exodus in the Parsha. It's a double Parsha. Goes from chapter 35 till the end of the book. And so there's that. Also, I want to talk about money, because that seems to be on everybody's mind lately, and for good reason.
Right.
Oh, man. So at 3 banks in a week.
3?
So
Wow. I know one was the California one, but what was the other two?
Well, there are 2 in California. There's SVB and Signature.
Signature, okay.
Yeah. And then one of the EU banks shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And the government decided to add another couple $1 trillion of currency into the system to help us all out, because that's what we need, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm not sure we have any gold left. I don't really think we do. I know a lot of people say there is gold, and that hasn't changed. Treasury still has we just do our banking through the Federal Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so sure about that. It's a touchy subject to bring up, because I know there's lots of conspiracy theorists out there who, love to take things a little far when you talk about money and Torah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean,
right.
I have something here I pulled up from. Let me get this. I got someone on the phone here. Hang on just a second.
Okay.
We're going to get rid of this little ringer tone here, so I can hear myself think. This is from the prophet Haggai in chapter 2. We'll start at verse 6 and go through 8. It says, "For thus saith the Lord of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land, and I will shake all the nations, and the choicest things of all the nations shall come, and I will fill this house," talking about the coming temple, "with glory, saith the Lord of hosts." Verse 8, "Mine is the silver, and mine is the gold, saith the Lord of hosts. The glory of this latter house shall be greater than that of the former, saith the Lord of hosts. And in this place will I give peace, saith the Lord of hosts." There's a lot to unpack here. I think this directly relates to. I think this is where our head needs to be. If for anybody biblical out there, anybody who's comes close to the Torah and takes from it lessons, I think this little section here, the gold is mine, the silver's mine. Mine is the silver, mine is the gold. Mine the gold. Capital M, mine is in mine, like his. This new system that we're apparently going on, quantum financial system, apparently this is what some banks are already going over to, and I know everybody's real scared about it. The big difference is this is a currency that will be based on assets. And if you want to know what assets are, I think something else just happened this week. In the Torah portion, we get the continued building of the Mishkan and everything, the utensils and the shekel is used over and over. It's a certain weight of gold. And let me see if I can find the verse here, because it's he's specific about the shekel, the half shekel.
Mhm.
All the gold that was, this is Exodus, 38:24. All the gold that was used for the work in all the work of the sanctuary, the elevation offering of gold came to 29 talents and 730 shekels by the sanctuary weight.
Mhm.
And where are my eyeballs? Excuse me, real quick here. Am I leaning over? No, that's not them either. Where are my eyeballs? I just had them here. All right. Well, oh, right up here on the shortwave. Okay.
My fault. I didn't remind you.
No, you didn't. They were in the room, though.
There we go.
Verses 24 through 29. This is oh, by the way, I'm reading from the Rational Bible. I don't have the screen up right now. Dennis Prager's Rational Bible on Exodus commentary on 28-24. Verses 24 through 29 detail the exact quantities of precious metals used in constructing the tabernacle. He previously cited Rabbi Saul Berman's fine conjecture that by detailing these quantities, the Torah intended to foreclose the possibility of corrupt priests insisting on the need for more gold and silver than necessary, which they could then pocket. And he brings up the half shekel again by the sanctuary weight. So this is a weight determined in the priesthood will determine, or will have the measurement. That's how it's, it's weights and measures. You have this much weight, this much gold equals that. Mm-hmm. Something else here. Men and women, I wanted to bring that up, were called to help build the temple, the Mishkan, men and women, and it's all voluntary. It's for those who have a heart, who's filled with the Spirit, and it moves them to give a generous offering. Let them come forth, and they did.
Mm-hmm.
And what do they give? Gold and silver, yarn. We know about interest. You can't charge too much interest to anybody in your gates. You can't charge interest at all. That's time honored. I mean, the Indian nations still do that to this day. They take care of your own community first. Put the mask on yourself before you put it on your kids. But I just wanted to, maybe this is because if we're moving into a new money, we know the dollar is going to collapse. It's made that way. That it's reserve banking. It's not real money. It never was. It was to try to balance out an economy. I don't know just how ruthless these people are, but at the same time, they don't want to lose their, But on an optimist note, I mean, Uncle Mike brought up that one thing about going on a global currency that's equal, the yen to the dollar to the pound to the peso to whatever, that'll be the same across the board, is that Torah says you can't have two different measures in one house. You can only use one system. I know everyone's scared of global, one world order and all this and conspiracy theories, but is it so bad? Is it really so bad to have a universal monetary system?
I don't know. Let's see what happens with the euro. That was the whole idea behind the euro, too, if you remember correctly.
Yeah, try to balance Europe out.
Yep.
Get them all ready.
Right.
But if gold and silver is all God's anyway.
That's right. He gives and he takes away. That is the important thing to remember right there.
This is true. I wouldn't be so. I don't like it either. I would rather have gold, hard gold money. But that's not going to happen. So this might be a good thing. What's happening right now might wind up being a good thing. I don't know. So that's the money thing right there. I don't have any big revelations. I don't know if this will help anybody who's out there watching, but yeah, it's all God's anyway. What's going to happen is going to go to the temple. Like it says here, the choicest. I shall shake the nations, and the choicest things of all nations shall come, and I will fill this house with glory, saith the Lord of hosts. What house? The house of all nations. So it's going to be put use. It's going to be put to use properly. And I didn't like it when I first heard that when Mashiach comes, there will be a monetary system set up that goes. It's like top down, as far as how it's distributed and how it works. That's how they do it. There is a reset. And we didn't have the Great Reset concept. This was, I guess, Rabbi Dove's class probably 8-9 years ago or longer. But he was saying that, yeah, it's going to be a different monetary system. It won't be like now where it's just crazy and there'll be corporations that'll own. It'll be one, honest money, and two, equally distributed. There's free trade in Torah. I've never seen any real true restriction on free trade in any of Jewish law. Ethical way of going about it, yes, but I don't see socialism. There's tithing. There's the community needs certain things, and it's voluntary. Sometimes it's not. In the census, you take a half shekel. You can't count heads, but if each head brings a half shekel, goes in the pot, you count the shekel and not the people. But I know we're scared about it. I think we're getting set up for a better time ahead, So I could be wrong. I don't know. What do you think? Stop in here and tell me. There's a link down there. You can always email me and comment on Facebook. Orphans of Abraham. We're live there as well. I have some viewers up. Thank you for watching. What's on your mind, Rosalie, about money and the banks and all that good stuff that's going on?
I don't really know. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen, basically.
Yeah.
Like everybody else. There's not much I can say. Funny thing today, though, is that when I was doing my drawer this morning, I had a 1917 dime.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's not in really great shape, but it is. And the machine kicked it out. And I looked at it, it's real. So it's like, I turned around, I had a dime in my pocket, so I threw the dime in and bought the other one. So
you bet it's like a silver dime.
Oh, it is. I guarantee. It's a Lady Liberty one, I think.
That's so cool.
I know. And you can see where it says United States. It's not really in great shape, but who cares? It's 103 years old. No, 106 years old. It's like, hell yeah, I'm going to buy it just because it's 106 years old. These guys don't know what they got, and I do. It's like, screw you guys. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Well, the machine didn't even accept it. So
no, it didn't. It didn't. It probably thought it was a slug, and that's what cracks me up, because sometimes it won't take certain monies. And it's like, okay, if I know it's real and I want it and I got to replace it, I'll replace it. I'll do that with silver certificates and everything else too. I probably won't take the silver certificates. So it's like, hey.
Look out for wheat pennies, 1919 and 1920. They're very rare, apparently. I heard this yesterday.
Okay, well, I've been seeing wheat penny. I've been seeing a lot of them, and I've been buying them. The first one I bought was a 1959 one. Yay. And the one I got yesterday was a 1956. So it's like, hey, we get one that's 65 plus and 64. So, hey. So hopefully people will, that might drive things up a little bit as far as monetary value. But I mean, think of all the coin collectors who are going to be really pissed off when this stuff goes through and it won't be worth a damn. Either it'll make them worth more or it won't make them worth anything.
Yeah. Pennies aren't copper because a penny doesn't buy copper. It's like magnesium mostly now. I didn't know what that was made of till recently.
Oh, cool. Did not know that. No wonder they promote the bracelets and shit like that. If it's got magnesium in it, hell yeah, they're gonna work. A lot of people are low on magnesium. So,
it's in your coins. Eat you a penny.
Tape it to your tape it to your wrist or something.
Hey, you never know. Well, something else in the Torah portion. I thought I might read an essay from Mr. Prager here.
Okay.
Moses convoked the whole Israelite community and said to them, "These are the things the Lord has commanded you to do." He said the entire community. That's everybody. That's Gerim. That's visitors. That's whatever. On 6 days of work, on 6 days work may be done, but on the seventh you shall have a Sabbath complete rest, holy to the Lord. Whoever does any work shall be put to death. Let's see. Murder. Yeah, it looks like murder and working on the Sabbath and blasphemy are instant death, like death penalty. So he wrote an essay here on why no fire on the Sabbath. And I thought I might read that.
That'd work.
Once again, just to show everybody here, and I'm just going to give it a plug. Oh, the Rational Bible. We don't have one for Leviticus or Bamidbar yet, Numbers yet. But Exodus, Deuteronomy, and Genesis are out. They're all worth your read. Why no fire on the Sabbath? This is an essay and a commentary on 35:30, Exodus 35:30. You shall kindle no fire throughout your settlements on the Sabbath day. There is very little specific legislation in the Torah concerning the Sabbath. The most significant prohibitions alongside this one are the ban against plowing and harvesting, and that's in Exodus 34:21, and an unclearly defined prohibition against leaving one's place on the Sabbath, which later Jewish law understood as a prohibition against going outside one's city limits. Exodus 16:29. Today, when a small percentage of the population engages in agricultural work, the prohibition against kindling a fire remains the most relevant Sabbath prohibition in the Torah. The question then is why? Why is making a fire singled out as forbidden? The key to understanding why is this, whereas the actions the Torah prohibits on Shabbat are also prohibited on the festivals, Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot. The one exception is making fire. The Torah prohibits making a fire only on Shabbat. The Jerusalem Talmud, citing this verse, states, "On the Sabbath day you may not light, but you may light on a festival." Observant Jews, however, do not light a fire on a festival, though they permit transferring flame from one pre-existing fire, something forbidden, on the Sabbath. And why does the Torah ban making a fire on Shabbat but no other holidays, except Yom Kippur, which is considered the Sabbath of Sabbaths, and has all the laws pertaining to the Sabbath? The answer must lie in the meaning of the Sabbath, to affirm that God is the creator by not working or creating on the day God ceased working and creating. Aside from making new life, conceiving a child, which I will address, making a fire is the ultimate symbolic act of human creation. Animals too make new life, but they do not make fire. Only God creates ex nihilo, something out of nothing. The kindling of fire is the closest humans come to creating. By kindling fire, humans are engaging in an act uniquely close to creating, whereas the purpose of the Sabbath is to refrain from such acts in order to affirm the one creator is God. Not only does fire seem to come from nothing, it also has the unique power to transform everything it touches. Everett Fox alludes to this. Since the Sabbath was apparently to be static in nature, or at least transformative of time alone, fire, which by its nature causes chemical changes, could not be employed. The Sabbath is a time to enjoy the world as it is. The uniquely transformative entity, fire becomes the archetypal Sabbath prohibition. So then, why does the Torah prohibit making a child the only other act that creates something from nothing? For four possible reasons. First, as noted, animals also make new life. Therefore, making a new life is not uniquely human. 2. Unlike fire, a new human life does not physically transform everything it touches. 3. As noted, Jewish law understands the Sabbath prohibition on work as applying to the 39 types of work carried out in the building of the tabernacle. Sexual relations were, of course, not one of those 39 types of work. And 4, and most important, the Torah affirms life. Therefore, just as every Torah prohibition may, indeed must, be violated to save a human life, the prohibition on creating on the Sabbath, on Shabbat, is suspended in order to make a new human life. The Torah adds the qualification throughout your settlements because the kindling of fire was allowed in the tabernacle, and later in the tabernacle for the special Sabbath sacrifices. See Shabbat 20a, Talmud Shabbat 20a. The tabernacle and the temple were not regarded as settlements. One might further ask, that just answered my question. Okay, I'll get to that. One might further ask, if fire is an act of creation, why did the Torah allow it in the temple? Because the purpose of sacrificial fires in the temple was to affirm the Creator, whereas all other fires throughout your settlements, had other purposes. So, yeah, I wondered that right there. Why would I figured it had something to do with just being Levites, but why was there always a fire going at the temple? Now I know why.
And Levites own nothing, and they are God's portion. So that would make sense.
Because the tabernacle was not, and the temple were not considered settlements. So, neat essay. Take from among you gifts to the Lord. Everyone whose heart so moves him shall bring them. Gifts for the Lord, gold, silver, and copper. Men and women, all whose hearts moved them, all who would make an elevation offering of gold to the Lord, came bringing brooches, earrings, rings, and pendants, gold objects of all kinds.
I got to say something right here. When they made the golden calf, only the men gave things away. Now they have all the women's jewels and all this. So that's why they have it.
Yeah, this is true. No woman was involved in that. Men. Men. Jewelry, yarn. Women took responsibility for spinning the goat's hair used to make one of the protective coverings for the tabernacle. And something else too. And I love this. I don't know what it is. I haven't looked into it. I haven't put too much thought into it, but I love it. There are certain people I can find it. We can read them. Certain people were good at certain things.
Right. Aholiab, and I don't remember the other guy's name, from the tribe of Judah. God gave the wisdom to do all that stuff.
Ahisamach, tribe of Dan. Carver and designer and embroider in blue, purple, and crimson yards. There's someone else who, yes, that's the first one. And then he's had other people who are good at
smithing,
yeah. And darn it, as soon as I try to look for something, I never get that. I should know that by now. Every time I try to go look for something specific in Torah, I can never find it unless I have it written down. But different people had different skill, huh?
Yep, it's chapter 36 in Exodus. Bezalel and Oholiab, and every wise-hearted man in whom God had imbued wisdom and insight to know how to do, shall do all the work of the service of the holy according to all the Lord has commanded. And that's in today. That's in the Parsha, the portion.
Yep, right at 36. Yeah. So these are people who God endowed with certain skills. And he goes through certain, Bezalel and Oholiab.
Yeah, and Oholiab is the son of Ashizamach, who is the tribe of Dan.
Okay. Okay.
Bezalel was the son of Uri, the son of Hur of the tribe of Judah. He was imbued with the spirit of God, with wisdom, insight, and knowledge, and with the talent for all manner of craftsmanship, to do master weaving, to work with gold, silver, and copper. And this is found in chapter 30, Exodus 35, 30 on down.
Yeah, the Torah wishes to emphasize that people who have special skills and abilities do not have themselves to thank or praise for those abilities.
Mm-hmm.
They have them because God gave them those abilities.
That's right.
The abilities are God's. The gold is God's. The silver is God's. Just give it to God.
Yep. But the thing is here too is, guess what? They were chosen people. God chose them to do all this.
Yeah. I'd still kind of like to have a Muslim night.
No.
But
no. You will be on your own. You can call John. He can help you with that.
Yeah. No, that'd be worse. Excuse me. I picked up a little something for my girl. My wife picked it up for my girl, and I picked it up for my wifey. So I got a little something in the chest there. It snowed today in Kansas.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Getting snow here, which is kind of funny because 42 years ago there was a freaking blizzard.
And finally, everybody builds it, but Moses puts it together. And he says, you will anoint it as you anoint their fathers, talking about the Israelites. That's exactly what he did. He anointed with oil everything. This. How old was Moses at this point? He had to be like, I don't know, 70, 80? I mean.
Well, he was pretty much 80 when he started the whole thing. So
yeah.
He's in his at least mid to late 80s.
That's a spry old man. Putting this thing together. Moses did all this work.
That is funny as we talk about Jethro, and Jethro's his father-in-law. So that needs to tell you something there too.
Huh.
Think how old he must have been.
Yeah, no kidding. There's another spry dude.
It's that little Peyton place.
And there's not a lot of other commentary on that.
Excuse me.
This kind of sets up everything. I mean, we go into detail later. Really, Exodus kind of covers everything. It's got halakha. It's got Agadah. It's got
Mishnah.
It's got history. It's and designs the Mishkan before your very eyes. You read it and you can see it. I mean, it's really neat. But that's where I'm at today. That's where I've been. That's about as far as I've gotten in my readings.
Okay.
Everything else is off topic or controversial.
Oh wow. Yep. And they go and build I think the cool thing is what people, it's like the dinosaurs. They were brought about for certain things. And then their purpose was over with, they died out. It's like we read in here about the Takash and the skin of the Takash for this portable tent and all this. It was alive for a reason, and nobody ever heard of it again. It just died away.
Is there a commentary that says it was created just for that purpose?
Yeah. Somewhere, I think it's in, it might be in, it's probably in the Talmud somewhere, but yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah, there's change.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the sea creatures, the great sea creatures of the, in the, you know, what were they? We hear of a Leviathan. That's a giant big snake or eel or something. We don't see those anymore.
Not yet, not for a while anyway. We will see them for a dinner.
Oh, yeah.
God sports with the Leviathan, the male. He killed off the female and neutered the male. But somewhere down the line, the male Leviathan is going to be, they're going to use his skins for covering as well. With the third temple, somewhere in the third temple, I think. And everybody will be gathered for a feast of the Leviathan.
And it has so much more meaning. Rabbi Katz did a couple classes. He would talk about that quite a bit. Or he did. This was years ago too. So I have most of his stuff on DVD. Of course, Soul Mazel channel here on YouTube. Tons and tons of wisdom. And while a good deal of it's in English, it's still going to be hard to understand. But go with it, and you can come in on top. Well, how are we going to fill the rest of the time, Rosalie?
Oh, I don't know. We can read the half Torah, can't we?
That's right. We can.
Yeah.
My Hertz is in the other room. So tonight, we'll get out the Gutenberg.
Well, either that or go to Chabad.org or read it online.
Let's see.
Yeah, the Mafir portion is different too. Usually the Mafir portion takes care of, like the few verses in the reading before it, but this time it's in Exodus chapter 12.
I guess we'll read it. I'll just go ahead and get it off the. We'll go ahead and get off the website. Make it easier to find because I have this prepared. It's a good, excellent translation. Get you a bunch of chumashim. Get you a few.
Yep.
Christians, especially, get you. Really.
One from Oinkelos would be the one to start out with because it has a really good commentary in it.
All right. Let's see here. I think I'll need you. All right, the Haftarah, a section of the Hebrew Bible, aka Old Testament, that directly pertains to the Torah portion, but is not from the Torah itself. We are in Ezekiel, chapter 45:18.
Yep.
I want to hide Rashi's commentary so we can get all concentrated.
I did that too.
And this goes through, what does it go through? 45?
46, 15.
Okay, there it is. Okay. All right.
45, 18, yep.
So says the Lord God, in the first month, on the first of the month, you shall take a young bull without blemish, and you shall purify the sanctuary. And the priest shall take hold of the blood of the sin offering, and put it on the doorpost of the house, and on the four corners of the edge of the altar, and on the doorpost of the gate of the inner. And so you do on 7 days in the month, because of mistaken and simple-minded men, and expiate the house. On the 1st, on the 14th day of the month, you shall have the Passover, a festival of 7 days. Unleavened bread shall be eaten. And the prince shall make on that day for himself and all for the people of Israel a bull for a sin offering. On the 7 days of the festival, he shall make a burnt offering to the Lord, 7 bulls and 7 rams without blemish daily for 7 days, and a sin offering, a he-goat daily. And a meal offering he shall make an ephah for a bull and an ephah for a ram, and for each ephah 1 hin of oil. In the 7th month, on the 15th day of the month, on the festival, he shall do the same for 7 days, a similar sin offering, a similar burnt offering, a similar meal offering, and similar oil. Chapter 46. So says the Lord God, the gate of the inner court that faces toward the east shall remain closed the 6 working days, but on the Sabbath it shall be opened, and on the new moon it shall be opened. And the prince shall enter by way of the vestibule of the gate without, and he shall stand at the doorpost of the gate, and the priest shall offer his burnt offering and his peace offering, and he shall prostrate himself at the threshold of the gate and go out, but the gate shall not be closed until the evening. The people of the land shall also prostrate themselves at the entrance of the gate on the Sabbaths and on the new moons before the Lord. And the burnt offering which the prince offers to the Lord on the Sabbath shall be 6 lambs without blemish and a ram without blemish.
You ever notice how all the sacrifices are without blemish? Continue.
And as a meal offering, 1 ephah for the ram and for the lambs, excuse me, a meal offering as he is able to give, and a hin of oil to an ephah. On the different translations use different anyway. On the new moon, a young bull without blemish, and 6 lambs and a ram without blemish are they to be. And an ephah ephah for the bull, and an ephah for the ram he shall bring as a meal offering. But for the lambs, as much as he can afford, and of 1 hin to an ephah. I just can't say that word. And whenever the prince goes in, he shall go in by way of the vestibule of the gate, and by the same way he shall go out. But when the people of the land come before the Lord on the times fixed for meeting, he who enters by way of the north gate to prostrate himself shall go out by way of the south gate, and he that enters by way of the south gate shall go out by way of the north gate. He shall not return by way of the gate whereby he came in, but he shall go out by that which is opposite it. The prince also then enters among them when they go in, and when they go out, they, the priest and the people together, go out. And on the festivals, on the times fixed for the meeting, the meal offering shall consist of an ephah for a bull and an ephah for a ram, but for the lambs, a gift which is in accordance with his means, and oil, a hin to an ephah. And when the prince brings a free will offering, a burnt offering, or a peace offering as a free will offering to the Lord, one shall then open for him the gate that faces east. And he shall bring his burnt offering and his peace offering as he goes on the Sabbath day. And after he goes out, one shall close the gate. And a lamb of the first year without blemish shall you bring as a burnt offering daily to the Lord. Every morning you shall bring it. And as a meal offering you shall bring it for every morning, 1/6 of an ephah, and 1/3 hin of oil to stir with the fine flour, a meal offering to the Lord according to the perpetual ordinance. Thus shall they bring the lamb and the meal offering and the oil every morning, a continual burnt offering. Priest
Yay.
has to eat.
Yep.
Hello, Catherine Marie. Hi, honey. We're doing some Bible study right now, okay? Can you go out in the living room for a little bit? I'll be out in just a few minutes. Thank you, sweetheart. You gonna make it? She's gonna make it. Okay. Hi, honey. Come on, go out in the living room. Come on, we're live on camera. Hang on. Someone's in a little nightie. We're gonna turn off the camera and we're gonna get you out here. Hold on. I'll be right back, Rosalie.
Okay. No worries. No
Okay.
worries at all. Okay.
We're gonna make it, Catherine. Are we gonna do this? Okay. And we're back. Yeah, it's the east, rising sun. That is basically North in Judaism. Whereas north by sailors, but everything goes by the east. The temple, the door when you bring in your offering, that's to the east, as we heard here. So that's basically north. You could call it north. You can say it like that. And any comments, questions, compliments, complaints, email me or feel free to come on in here. Would love to have you. Do this every Thursday. I've got a link up at, of course, the Orphans of Abraham, Torah U as well. Oh, I didn't get it up to Torah U today. That was my fault. That's. I'll have to get a link up there next week. Rosalie, is there anything you'd like to add before we close this thing out tonight?
No, except for the festival tomorrow that's happening. May those who vibe in it not overdo the alcohol.
Tomorrow?
Aye. Aaron Gobra.
Huh. Almost forgot.
There you go.
Oh, I'm like, I missed something. Purim was last week. What?
That's what it was. Purim was last week.
Yes, do not imbibe. Be careful out there.
To do so, drink responsibly.
Yeah, it took me to see Aaron go bra. I'm like, wait, that's Keltish. Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Gabra. I got me Sledge. Got me another little idol smasher here. I love it.
Yay.
It's got a nice engine name on there, Milwaukee. I love it. 3-pounder. Well, yeah. For those celebrating tomorrow, L'chaim. May you go to your health.
Slancha.
Salancha, yes. We'll be back here next 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time now. Now that we're on daylight savings time, but not a fan.
It's like the Indians say, only a white man can cut off as part of the blanket and sew it on the bottom and say he's saving things.
I don't understand why we still do it. It's everyone's like, let's make the thing is, let's make daylight savings day permanent. And I say, why? I said, because we don't like it when it gets dark early. I'm like, you're going to get dark early anyway. You're also going to get light late.
Right. Let's just fall back and keep it that way.
Yeah, because if we're on daylight savings time all the time, we're going to be an hour off of the rest of the world. We have a clock that starts the green mean time. They call it over there.
Greenwich Mean Time. Yep.
Greenwich Mean Time. Yeah. And that's how all the clocks are based. And then you'll have this one section. Let's take Central, the Central Time Zone, which runs down basically the Central of America. And then we'll have Mexico, and you'll have Canada, and you'll have people down here in Colombia, and all their clocks will be at like 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock. But the United States will be at 1 o'clock because we just had to make it permanent.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain this to one of our managers the other day. It's like, well, everyone's going to be off if you travel far enough. Your clock changes. I'm like, yeah, but we'll be an hour off of everybody else. But we're already. She can get it. So hopefully, you understand.
Yes, I do.
Right, your congressman, y'all. Okay. They say that like heart attacks and a lot of
Spring ahead, yeah.
Go from
Spring
these
ahead,
little
yeah.
time.
Because people are still in winter and they're still shoveling, and now they're doing it less until the body catches up. They're doing it an hour less sleep, which is a stressor, and ta-da, there you have it.
Well, one measure, so we'll have one clock too. That'll be nice. One clock. Mashiach
Right.
brings us one clock because we just didn't think the sun was on time. Okay. jamestheidolsmasher@gmail.com is my email address. At the Idol Smasher on right here on YouTube and Twitter. Do this every Thursday night. We would love to have you join if you have a question or something you want to talk about. I know we're competing with a couple other broadcasts, but please feel free to come in. We're pretty cool people. Pretty cool. Mosley's pretty cool for a girl.
Thanks.
No, we thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And a lot of folks come and watch afterwards. And I see those numbers go up later in the week. So thank you for watching. We appreciate it. But feel free to stop by when you can. I'll be checking my email every single week, a couple of times. So if you have any questions, let me know. And I'll pick those up and get back with you ASAP. Until then, Shabbat Shalom, Rosalie.
Shabbat Shalom, Israel, and everybody else.
We'll see you next week.
Yep.
Be well.